birthday suit is best, is what I like to say. But if you need to wear clothes, keep it minimal. Please make sure that they're not full of chemicals or dyes or synthetic materials, because anything sitting on the skin is potentially open to get into the bloodstream. Are you struggling with low energy, weight gain, hormonal imbalances, or heavy metal and mold toxicity? Do you want to learn more about anti-aging tips and creating more longevity in your life? Well, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Jen Heller, a wellness educator, infrared sauna expert, and home health consultant. In this podcast, Homes That Heal, I will teach you how to transform your home into a health and wellness sanctuary. Your health is your wealth, and I believe that your home should be your sanctuary space, loaded with the tools you need to thrive in your life, not just survive. If you want to feel fantastic and transform your life and home, grab a pen, let's dive in and create a home that heals. Hey friends, Jen here. Welcome back to Homes That Heal. So I know we're in the heat of summer, so it sounds a little silly to be talking about saunas. It is hot, hot, hot here in Wisconsin, and it has been hot for the last couple of weeks. I love it. I'm a heat warrior, so I don't mind at all. However, again, the Ask Jen episodes are always all around saunas, and I know it sounds a little off to be speaking about heat therapy when we're in a heat wave across the US. However, just a reminder, a lot of people think about saunas and they're like, oh, it's hot, it sounds uncomfortable. But I'll tell you, a lot of people over the last, I've been working in this industry, so to speak, for 15 going on 16 years. And early on, people thought of saunas as a luxury. It was kind of like a la-di-da if you had a sauna in your home. But I would say fast forward a decade or so, and now these have become a very popular, common health and healing wellness tool in people's homes. And I would say the majority of the people that I speak to on a daily basis are not buying a sauna for luxury or for another piece of furniture or for some pretentious purpose. It's a health issue. It's a cancer diagnosis. It's mold toxicity. It's severe pain or inflammation or Lyme disease or something pretty severe. And so the scope of the shopping has changed, so to speak, where these are just becoming more of a wellness tool and part of your wellness wheel, and particularly if you have protocols. So I bring that up to say is that's a 365 protocol and lifestyle regimen, meaning you should utilize these in the summer and the spring and the fall and in the winter. And, looking and remembering back when I had my wellness center, yeah, summer was a little bit quieter as far as the schedule goes, but not a ton. People still require detoxification. People are still working through protocols. And sometimes the outside air, like the humidity, is intolerable, but the infrared sauna dry electric heat is much more conducive to the body. It's more healing. It feels good. So it's a deeper, more detoxifying sweat, but it's not a heavy, hard to breathe. So it's very tolerable. So especially if you have air conditioning for your home, and you're indoors and you don't know the difference, summertime can still be a very important time to be using infrared sauna, as well as it's just a good time maybe to set up your home or get your home and your healing space set up so that when you get into the fall and the winter months, when people are really craving the heat, you already have it. And then you're not scrambling and shopping in the hustle and bustle of the holidays and the mad rush, particularly if saunas are maybe out of stock at that time, which sometimes they can be. So anyways, all of that to say is welcome to summer, and we're going to dig into some sauna questions. Before we jump over there, just want a reminder, obviously the summer sale is going on. So if you are interested in shopping and looking at different spec sheets and models and dig into the electrical and the comparisons, hop on over to my site, jenhellerlifestyle.com, click on the infrared sauna link, and you can shop all the saunas. Pricing is all there. Shipping, tax, lifetime warranty, of course, is always included with the sauna purchase, so no hidden fees or costs. I know a lot of other sauna companies are tacking on shipping and tariffs and taxes and fees and all these other things. That is not the case here. So prices out the door, what you see is what you get. So no funny business. Let's see what else. The last thing I'll mention too, since I did talk about setting up your healing space or maybe your own little sanctuary space, or maybe if you're like me, the summertime is a great time to purge and you're moving furniture around and you're changing up the paint colors and you're throwing away half things in your closet And lo and behold, you found some space for a meditation space, or maybe it's a yoga corner or whatever. The Home Wellness Checklist is a free guide that lives on the website. Please download that if you're looking for some guidance or if you're just looking for some ways that you can move about your house and elevate it to a more harmonious and healing space. So, again, over at thejenhellerlifestyle.com and download your free wellness checklist. Okay, let's dive into today's three questions. Number one, what should I wear in the sauna? I get this question all the time. I kind of feel like I maybe have answered or addressed this in some other show, but it continues to come up. So I wrote it down and we're going to talk about it again. First and foremost, infrared is a light energy that the body recognizes as heat. So I like to use the analogy of the sun. It's just like the sun, but without dangerous UV rays. So the more skin exposure you have to it, the better. Meaning clothing, towels, any kind of material between you and those black panels on the walls is going to create a barrier. So can you wear clothes? Absolutely. Can you wrap up in a towel? Absolutely. You're still going to sweat because it's hot, but what you're blocking is a lot of the actual healing heat, which is the infrared wavelength that travels in a straight line directly off those black panels on the walls. So those are safe to touch, not going to burn you. You want to sit right up against those to allow that heat to penetrate right into the skin. So the more skin you have exposed, the deeper it can get into the muscle tissue as well as elevate your core body temperature. So you can wear undergarments. Some people like to wear their swimsuit, but again, it's important to understand to open up the pathway to the skin, but also allowing the skin to breathe, meaning you don't want to be wearing like a one piece swimsuit and completely blocking your sweat glands of your entire torso. I mean, if you pop in after a workout or you're just on the fly, obviously that is okay. Everyone's done that at the gym or whatever, but the point is to really allow the skin to breathe as well as allowing the infrared to enter into the body. So that's first and foremost. And then just a side note, because this is also something that comes up often, is it's important to note that infrared, because it travels in a straight line and because it's designed to enter into the body to elevate core temperature, you'll notice inside clear light saunas, those heaters are intentionally cut off at about neck or shoulder level, depending on your height. So it can actually target your core body and not the airspace above you, not target directly on your head or just heating the air cabin. The air temperature is secondary to the actual infrared. So in other infrared saunas, if you don't see walls totally lined with infrared, now you're just sitting in a hot box. So you're not really gaining the benefits of infrared. Your body's not actually absorbing that heat, as well as if you decide to lay down on the bench, which is okay, especially if your body is calling for that type of rest. But do know that the more skin exposure and body exposure you have up against these wall panels where the heat is, that's going to be the most beneficial, the maximum penetration of infrared. So hopefully that helps and explains what you should wear. Another thing to note is, and this is just kind of me siding off on a little bit of a side note. If you are using towels, which we recommend sitting on towels, I obviously use towels and wipe off with towels, but I don't wrap up in the towel so that the body can breathe. But using non toxic, if you are wearing clothing, if you are using towels or wrapping in towels, please make sure that they're not full of chemicals or dyes or synthetic materials, because once you go into an infrared sauna and your pores are open and your skin is vulnerable, anything sitting on the skin is potentially open to get into the bloodstream. So keep in mind that it's not just sweating out. If you are wearing a tight swimsuit or something that's maybe got some dyes or some sort of, you know, unknown material, you're now opening up your vulnerable areas of the body to be leaching that in multiple times, however time you're using the sauna. So again, birthday suit is best, is what I like to say. But if you need to wear clothes, keep it minimal. Okay, so question number two, kind of a spinoff of what should I wear, is do I need to wear eye protection? The short answer is no. Infrared saunas do not harm your eyes or cause any issues. Many people like to close their eyes to relax, but infrared heat does not harm your eyes. So it's totally up to you to keep your eyes open or closed. Oftentimes I get asked about wearing glasses or contacts. You can wear your glasses if necessary for you to read or see if you need to see in the sauna. Obviously, the glasses are going to get hot, especially if they're metal frame, but definitely not recommended for contacts. You don't want to have that in your eyeballs while you're detoxifying and sweating. And it's just better to, again, as I mentioned about the skin, it's better to allow the body to breathe. So I would leave the contacts out. Many people confuse infrared saunas with red light therapy towers. Now, eye protection is highly recommended with red light therapy, which is otherwise known as photobiomodulation, which is that super bright red light bar. It's an accessory that goes inside the sauna on the door. Other companies, of course, make red light therapies that you can hang on the back of your bathroom door or on the wall or tabletop units. That spectrum is recommended to not have that exposure to the eyes. Just a side note, there is some data to support and some studies being done to support that potentially red light therapy is beneficial for eye health. I am not recommending that or condoning that or suggesting that. All I'm saying is do your due diligence. I know some people, including myself, I don't wear eye protection when I use my red light, but I'm also not staring directly into it. But again, that's a topic for another day. But I wanted to bring attention to, do you need eye protection in the sauna for heat therapy? And the answer is no. If you're looking for the difference between red light therapy and what I'm saying right now is like you're not sure what I'm talking about, the difference between red light therapy, far infrared, and full spectrum heat, check out episode 36 for my conversation with the brains and creator of Clear Light Saunas, Dr. Raleigh Duncan. We had a fabulous deep dive conversation on this exact topic, as well as just the general evolution of infrared heat, red light therapy, his history. He's pretty much the pioneer in the infrared world, making and creating the safest, most effective sauna on the market, in my opinion. But he's been in the sauna space for about 30 years. And so we talked through the difference between far infrared, full spectrum, and red light therapy. So if that's of interest to you, go back to episode 36. I think it aired on February 18th, and you can listen to that fabulous conversation. Okay, question number 3. This is kind of a random question, but I get asked this a lot. It has nothing to do with clothing and eye protection, but I plugged it in today because I've been getting more and more people asking about it. And it's, can I put a rubber mat underneath the sauna? And I think this is coming up quite a bit because people are putting saunas in their basements, in gyms, in garages, in areas where there might be concrete floor. And so it makes sense because a lot of gym equipment requires some sort of a mat underneath. This is kind of a gray area, I'll be quite honest. The answer is yes, you can put a rubber mat or a gym mat underneath your sauna, but honestly, I don't recommend it. And here are a few reasons why. First of all, you don't need a mat underneath the sauna anywhere because it can sit just like any other piece of furniture on the floor. It can sit on concrete, hardwood floor, tile, carpet, you name it. It's not going to harm the floor. Now, sometimes people like to put mats or things underneath it to kind of designate the space, help out with any unevenness underneath the sauna. Like sometimes concrete has intentional, like a little bit of sloping or unforgiveness, as well as if you just want something to stabilize it or something to step out on. That's totally up to you. You certainly can do that. But the feedback I always get back is the smell and the aroma of those rubber petroleum mats. You smell that every time you're in the sauna. And then, of course, you heat it up so it exasperates it. The floor isn't wicked hot heat, but it does have in-floor heating. So then it's constantly pushing a warmth into the rubber petroleum, which, one, aroma, not so awesome. And two, potentially off-gassing, which, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. You can do that on your own. But oftentimes these mats are made of some interesting materials, and then you heat them up and it can exasperate the situation. So now, again, it's okay in some instances. Maybe you already got a gym floor laid down or it's part of your home. Totally fine. I'm not mentioning this to scare people or to freak people out that have their sauna sitting on a mat. If it's working for you, great. I'm just suggesting that that's not the best option if you're looking to set up a new sauna and you're not sure what you should put under it. My recommendation is some sort of area rug or something soft you can step out onto, as well as something that's not going to have any kind of aroma to it. So anything non toxic. I know some people like to use cork. I'm a huge fan of the non-slip cork mats inside the sauna. If you need something on the floor, those you can find over on the Jen Heller lifestyle site as well. But again, think about keeping the space harmonious and clean, and rubber mats don't usually invoke that energy. So, food for thought. Again, this is just personal reference. So, let's switch gears into this week's testimonial. I received a ton of fabulous testimonials over the last month. So, thank you, everyone who sent me your love notes, gratitude notes, thank you notes, and just overall blessings. I appreciate all of you. The community of people, I just absolutely love getting pictures and notes back, especially for those like we spend a ton of time on the phone and you're explaining all these spaces. A lot of people building homes or remodel projects. And then, I often wonder, like, what do these spaces look like? Or I wonder, once the sauna's delivered, I wonder how it's all going. Well, many of you send me your notes and your emails back letting me know. So thank you for that. I always love and appreciate it. This week, because it was so hard to choose, I received a ton of notes, as I said, but I ended up picking Lisa from Georgia. This is her note back. So she just got her sauna a couple weeks ago. So, Jen, first of all, thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking so much of your time to help me pick the best and right sauna for me and my home. When I started shopping saunas, I never imagined how complex and confusing this industry is, and that the decision would actually add stress to my life. Thankfully, you made the process simple by helping me go through my personal health goals, the space and the electrical in my home, and ultimately suggesting the Premier IS3. It's the perfect fit. I absolutely love it, and I've been using it for the last couple weeks, and it's hands down one of the best gifts I've ever given myself. My sleep has already improved. The pain in my low back is much more manageable, and I finally found a quiet, uninterrupted space I can enjoy my audiobooks. I now put me on my calendar 3 times a week, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Thank you for your wisdom and the true gift of healing. I'm forever grateful. Oh, honestly, that just gives me chills and actually a bit emotional to read. Thank you, Lisa, for such a sweet note, and more importantly, putting yourself on your schedule. That's literally music to my ears and warms my heart every single time I read it. That's exactly why I do what I do. So thank you for that. Like I said, thank you for keeping the notes coming in. I absolutely appreciate all of you and all of them. So that is a wrap, my friends, for this week's Ask Jen episode. Again, if you're shopping saunas, hop on over to the Jen Heller lifestyle site, then look at pricing. All the specs and everything is there. If you're looking for any of the Jen recommends, which are the towels and the cleaners and any of the other home goods that I mentioned, those are all listed on the resource Jen recommends pages as well. And of course, if you're building out a space or just revamping things in your home, please feel free to download the home wellness checklist. That is a free resource guide that I created just for you. So again, thank you for tuning in this week. I appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. Okay, friends and fellow wellness warriors, thanks for tuning in today. If this show was helpful and inspired you, please head over to Apple or Spotify to rate, review, subscribe, and follow us, as well as share it with your friends and family. It's a fantastic way to grow the show, expand my reach, and teach others how to create a vibrant life they love. If you're ready to invest in your health and purchase a Clear Light sauna, hop on over to jenhellerlifestyle.com and send me a note. Thanks again for tuning in. I love you. I'm grateful for you, and I thank you so much for your support. You are the reason I do this work. You are the reason I do this show. And you are the reason I get up every single day with a burning desire in my soul. Cheers to your health and happiness, my friends. We'll see you next week. This podcast is for general information purposes only and is not intended to be substituted for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you think you have a medical condition, consult your licensed physician.